You were late to work again. What took you so long this time?
My deepest apologies, boss, but the journey from Africa was a long one.
What? You were not in Africa anytime recently.
Sir? If I could explain.
Fine. Explain. This had better be good.
Well, it started about 150,000 years ago in Africa.
150,000 years ago. You haven't given this excuse before. You have got to be kidding me.
All that I am stating is fact, sir. Now if you'd let me explain.
Fine. Do so.
Well, 150,000 years ago there were only a couple of Homo sapiens. Historians believe that there were only about 5 to 10,000 of us.
You mean to tell me that your excuse starts with a bunch of monkeys?
No, by then, we had stopped evolving. The pre-hominids had developed very close to what we look like today, which is Homo sapiens. These people were hunter-gatherers, people who hunted and gathered, as the name suggests.
How does the lifestyle of these early people connect to your arriving here?
I'm getting there. It is actually very important. Well, you see, the men hunted and the women gathered.
How many times have I told you, I do not stand for sexism of any kind?
Pardon me, sir, but that's the way it was. The women could not run around and raise children at the same time. I didn't make these rules. Plus, sir, the men hunted animals, which are a source of protein. Humans do not need protein from meat to survive. Women provided the sustainable food source, which included berries, nuts and grains at the time. Some historians speculate that both men and women made up authority and government during this age.
Please get to the point already. You mean an egalitarian society, right?
Exactly. The egalitarian society of the hunter-gatherer era ended once humans started settling in towns. Then, women were confined at home. However, we are now gradually moving back to being an egalitarian society. And anyways, I am far from being sexist.
Humph. Okay. I still don't see the correlation between this and you being unpunctual.
As I was saying, we hunted and we gathered. The hunting part of our lives pushed us to move around a bit. We had to chase the meat.
So you were saying you chased a bunch of deer here?
Okay. Sure. But I'm not done yet. We still have the world to cover. Anyways, we had to chase the source of protein so we couldn't live in cities or even permanent houses. During this age of exploration, humans lived in bands of about 20 to 100 people, but we were nomadic.
So that's why you never closed the door. You spent the last couple 100,000 years living in a tent.
Not exactly a tent. We actually lived in a frame of wooden poles and sticks and creating shelter using animal hides. And no, I leave the doors open because I don't like closing them, but that is not related at all.
Whatever.
Anyways, we followed a bunch of mammoths and other animals around. But killing them was another matter, because, boss, you are not good for anything.
I am good for so much.
How would you do in a fight against a bear?
I suppose you have a point.
Of course I do. Humans are weaklings. We have no fur, no teeth or claws, we cannot run fast, we cannot jump high, and we are not even that strong.
Yes, but at least we have our highly capable brains. We can build tools and work together.
Yes. You're catching on. That's exactly how we killed mammoths and all those other poor animals that have smaller brains.
See, I'm good at something.
True. We can work in offices better than your average goldfish.
Sadly, you even struggle at working in an office.
As I was saying, we chased those animals around until we arrived in Asia about 90,000 years ago, but we didn't stop in Asia. Soon we were on our way to Australia and Europe. We reached Australia 50,000 years ago and Europe 10,000 years ago. Of course, during this time, humans faced many hardships. There were ice ages, volcanic eruptions, global warming and global cooling that affected our travel. Sometimes, when humans would enter a new modern-day continent, natural catastrophes would wipe out the entire tribe. They would have to move to the continent all over again, and sometimes there was a delay of a few thousand years. However, when the areas became habitable, humans settled.
I'm glad it doesn't take me that long to get to work.
Ah, but you don't get to work by foot either, which is why you weigh so much.
Pardon.
Never mind. Anyhow, we only got to North and South America 12,000 years ago.
Wait. Doesn't that make me African?
Yes, boss, that does make you African. However, our different races were caused by environmental factors in the different parts of the world that we settled. Regional changes altered factors such as skin color, race, hair, and height. Now maybe you can see, sir, why the journey from Africa was a long one.